Alright, I need to get it off my chest. I suck with Emerald Steel control. I don't know what it is, I couldn't tell you why, but I swear every time I play the deck, I feel myself slowly losing my mind. Just look at my score on Pixelborn. It's horrendous. And the worst part is, I feel even bad with the deck. Off stream, I have a 60% win rate with it over a period of 20 games, which, like, small sample size, but it's not a 4 and 11 win rate. But, like, on stream, 4 and 11? Whatever. And I personally blame the fact that I'm streaming for why my win rate is so poor, but I need to rant about this Achilles heel that I have. It's been bugging me so hard that I decided to do this over doing a set review on top of the fact that, well, we haven't seen many of the legendaries yet. And I'm sure there'll be more legendaries by the time I release this video, but like, set reviews have always been a little interesting for me. I generally avoid speculating on what the meta is going to be like until I see and play with the cards of the new set. This is just because I've seen too many people get burned from judging the vibes of a card wrong. I'm one of those people. I misjudge cards all the time, but tangent aside, I don't know what it is about Emerald Steel that makes me suck super hard with it on stream, because stream only explains part of the struggle. That's going to be the main sort of discussion of this video. I want to communicate my struggle to you all and then like not show you how I'm going to overcome it. This isn't a overcoming story. This is just an examination of all the different factors that go into playing a deck on Lorcana. It's like, I'm a 1-for-1 with Zan Saeed's list. My list is just an exact copy of him. Let's ignore the fact that I have 28 proxies in the deck, but my low win rate isn't because the deck is bad. It's because I'm either doing something wrong with it or there's secondary factors at play that I am not properly considering. I've already talked about streaming, but there are probably more, and I think it's the second one because Baja Blast, my beloved, I have a positive win rate with it. Baja Blast is a decidedly fairly complicated deck. Maybe not like the most complicated in the world, but it is also a control deck, and you would think at least some of the principles of control of Baja Blast would transfer over to Emerald Steel. That isn't actually the case and doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but you would think that my ability to perform well with one control deck should translate to my ability to play well with another control deck. It would be the same idea as a Amethyst Ruby player switching to Amethyst Steel. At the end of the day, they're still running Amethyst and they're still being like a tempo mid-range toolbox deck. It's like, I lose all the time with Emerald Steel on discard, on Pixelborn, but with Baja Blast, the only real decks I'm losing to are Amethyst Ruby and Amber Steel because those are the hardest matchups for it. Side note, this deck has been kicking my ass. Side note, I actually faced the person who built this deck today. Lost because I was running Baja Blast and this is the worst matchup and they know exactly what they need to do with it, but I did face them against with it. But Emerald Steel should theoretically have a neutral or positive win rate into any deck in the meta. You discard them and establish Prince Johns and Muses against Amber Steel, against Amethyst Tempo decks that aren't running red. You get access to Diablo and his drawing shenanigans against aggro, Ursula Deceiver of All, and you just wipe their board. And herein lies what I think the problem is. Okay, so IRL, you have to some extent information on what your opponent is running. If you're at a DLC, you can expect the meta staples and pretty stable list. If you're at your set champs, you should know a decent portion of what the room is running. Pixelborn, you're rolling the dice. Until your opponent inks and plays their first few cards, what their deck is and how to best counter them will be a complete unknown. Have you ever faced a Ruby Steel player where they draw 3 of their 7 locations in their deck and all 3 of them are 7 Dwarfs Bind and all you've got is 3 Diablos and you had to use your resources earlier in order to kill the Happy who was either going to move to a bind that was established earlier and murder your Diablo for dealing 2 damage or by just straight up challenging him because Happy has evasive on your turn? Well, I have, and I gotta say, I would have really loved the ability to play a Robin Hood at that point of the game. He's just so good. This is where the deck differs wildly based on the environment I played in on the redacted website that I cannot name, otherwise it will ban me, ban you, and ban everybody in between. I'm on a domination streak with Emerald Steel. In person, more wins than losses. In the wild wild west of Pixelborn low gold ladder, D tier. The deck is D tier. It's awful. There's so much that's probably going on here, more than what can be covered in one video. Maybe I'm just experiencing the blunt end beatdown of variants. Maybe Emerald Steel isn't a good play for where I am currently playing in Pixelborn. Maybe I'm just bad with the deck. I can accept that, but I refuse to give up. So I'm going to be entering a training arc for the next week, and on the other end, it won't even matter because a new meta will come out and all my learning of Emerald Steel will have been for not nothing, but I don't think there's enough time for me to take this deck to the heights I want to go with it before the next set is legal to play everywhere. So I have to just like accept defeat here. Emerald Steel discard of set 6 will be the deck that got away from me. Hopefully I redeem myself soon though, because I want to coach more people. Links in the description. Okay, subscribe. Bye!